What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTP Sports. And oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, all of our fears mangled up into one gigantic shithole that was this game, that was the Eagles against the Dallas Cowboys. Oh my god, everything felt so perfect early on. You go up 21-0, and then your offense proceeds to shit its pants the rest of the game and allow the Dallas Cowboys to remain involved. And what you know, constant 3-and-outs forces your defense onto the field so much, and it's going to get them gassed. They're going to drop some bodies because when you're out on the field so much, you're going to get banged up. That's exactly what happened, and the defense still did as much as it could to even give you a chance to still win this game, and then your offense once again proceeded to shit its fucking pants, shit profusely basically, all over Jerry World, down there in Dallas. All over Jerry World. Shit profusely falling out of your pants. That's how bad this loss was. That's how bad the offense was after going up 21-0. There is no excuse for losing that game. There is no excuse for going up 21-0 and then just spewing out straight shit the rest of the game. Your entire offense is garbage. That 21-0, that lead, those plays, those first 3 drives, and granted, one of those drives was helped because of a call that was roughing the punter, which probably should not have been roughing the punter. That's another discussion for another day. You got a lot of breaks. You still went up 21-0. You made some good plays. But that whole sequence, that entire sequence, that 3-drive sequence, complete mirage, completely irrelevant. That is not who this Eagles offense is. That is not what this Eagles offense has been the entire year. You know what this Eagles offense has been the entire year? What we saw from the halfway point of the second quarter onward through the rest of the game. They have no run game. Their offensive line is complete shit. And for some reason, they just completely negated throwing to A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith the rest of the game when they found so much success in the early part of the game. Completely negated that. Just completely decided to get way too conservative and tried to rely on the run game, which has not been reliable this entire season, and then you started making stupid mistakes. Then Jake Elliott misses a field goal on a 4th and 5, which I thought was pretty cowardly to not even try to go for it on 4th down, and then you get the freaking mistakes that happen, the things that you stress about so much about winning the turnover battle. Boom, Saquon Barkley fumbles the football after you take 14 fucking penalties. How does one team on this goddamn forsaken planet take 14 penalties in one single game? How is that even physically possible? And how many of those penalties were on the offensive line? How many of those penalties were on the offensive line? That's how garbage this offensive line has been this entire year. And no, it's not an excuse that Lane Johnson isn't in the game, that you don't have Lane Johnson available, that Fred Johnson is in there. That is no excuse. This offensive line has been in shambles and has been a complete shell of itself the entire season. Now, was I expecting the historic numbers that the offensive line was doing last season and all that stuff? Absolutely not, because every season is different. But not to this bad extent. There is no reason for this offensive line to be as bad as it is. Jordan Mailata looks completely terrible. He just looks bad this year. And that has nothing to do with injuries or being banged up and all that stuff. He just looks bad. Cam Jurgens is always in and out. Tyler Steen, this is his first full go-around in the offensive line as a starter. Landon Dickerson is constantly banged up. And the same thing with Lane Johnson, he's constantly banged up. But even when those guys are in the game, it's still not enough. And the depth that you have, the rotational pieces that you do use for this offensive line aren't good enough. They haven't been good enough. And you want to know what that affects? That affects the separation that you get in the run game. That affects the holes that you can create for Saquon Barkley. That's why the run game is so ineffective this year. Now, yes, does Saquon have a part in that as well? And maybe he's not as explosive as he was last year. And there definitely was an expected drop-off from, of course. But it all starts with your offensive line. You know how many drives die because you line up offsides or a false start or an eligible man downfield or something like that, or just a irrefusable mistake by a member of your offensive line that set you back 10 yards, that set you back 5 yards. It destroys drives. It just completely does. One of those penalties on your offensive line led to Saquon Barkley fumbling the football. Now, yes, Dallas had those same mistakes too that led to an interception when they were basically at the 1 yard line. False start pushes them back a couple of yards. That leads to an interception by Dak. But you made way more. Like, seriously, this is a game that nobody deserved to win. But you let Dallas hang in there. And Dallas, their offense has been one of the best offenses in the NFL this season. There is a reason, there is a bunch of statistics to back that up. They have been one of the best offenses in the goddamn league this year. You cannot let them hang around. For as good as your defense has been, there is going to be a game where they give up points. It's just going to happen. That is the nature of the league. There's just going to be a game, even when you're playing sharp, even when you're playing well, the other team is just going to find a way to beat you on the offensive side of the ball. That's what Dallas did. You let them hang in the game because your offense just couldn't stay on the fucking field. Ever since you go up 21-0, that is so fucking inexcusable. It's not even funny. It looked like there was some creative play calling on those first 3 drives. Nope. Just disregard that the rest of the game because you got too fucking conservative. You got too fucking cute. And you really want to know what this type of collapse reminds me of? When the San Francisco 49ers walk into your barn 2023 when you're 10-1, 11-1 or whatever it was, and they just beat you the fuck down. They take your souls, they embarrass you, and you were never the same ever since. This was what this game reminds me of, but just on a completely different scale because this was a controllable. This game was controllable. And granted, yes, the 49ers game was controllable too, but that was basically right from kickoff a just drastic fucking beatdown. You were beating down the Cowboys in the first quarter to the start of the second quarter with the way that you were going on offense. And then you just fucking let up and went back to the same offense that we have been seeing week after week after week after week after week. And sometimes your defense just can't hold up. Sometimes your defense cannot bail the offense out so many goddamn weeks in a row when you're just that fucking inept. It is insane how inept this play calling is. Kevin Patullo does not even deserve to come back to Philadelphia at that point. They're not going to fire him. It's too late in the season for that at all to begin with. But the undisciplinedness, all those penalties that you take in the game, that's coaching. That's coaching. That's all Nick Sirianni. And yes, maybe were some of those calls bullshit? Of course, it's the NFL. There's going to be bullshit calls on either side. But you really can't blame bullshit when you're taking 14 fucking penalties. That's solely on coaching. Solely on coaching. It's insane. I really want to know the discrepancy between offensive penalties and defensive penalties for this team. I don't think ESPN does that when I'm looking at it right here. It just shows total penalties, 14 penalties, and a total of 96 yards given up by the Eagles, just in totality. Insane. Absolutely insane. You were out-yarded. You were out everything in this game on the offensive perspective. Pickens completely torched you. Dak torched you. It's insane. And once again, honest to God, I don't think Jalen Hurts played a good game. And that's granted for the rest of the game. Jalen Hurts did not look good. From those first 3 drives on, Jalen did not look good. There were some throws that he missed. There were a lot of mistakes. Seriously, the sack that he took on the final drive of the game for a chance to go down the field and win the game, you took a sack at the worst fucking possible time. When the play obviously looked like it was something to set up for A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert was wide open over the middle of the field. And Jalen just looked it off. Just completely looked it off. And took a horrible sack. Horrible sack at the worst time. Bad penalties on Fred Johnson. Face mask and all of that stuff. Just so bad. So bad. So bad. There's no excuse for this. There is no excuse for this. And that's why there were so many fears from this city, from this fan base, that this offense is going to cost this team in the playoffs. And this offense is 100% going to cost this team in the playoffs. Because for as much as they can do what they did in the first quarter, it's less of that this year and more of what we saw the rest of the game has been the experience with this offense. It's just the case. That goes to play calling. That has nothing to do with the fucking talent on the field. When you get so simple in your play designs, when you're so focused on not turning the football over, because that's what this team stresses, right? They stress so much about not turning the football over, stress so much about it. And seriously, Jesus Christ, the one, oh my God, the one fucking fumble on the punt return. Why? I forget his fucking name. Why do I forget his fucking name? Because his name is so fucking irrelevant at this point, but it was such a fucking drastic change in the game, even though the defense stood tall and got Dallas to prevent them from even scoring on that. Oh my God, it's so bad. It was so bad. Where's the fumbles at? Where was the fumble at? Oh my, Xavier Gibson. Why? I need to repeat. Why are you catching a punt on the 1 yard line? Why are you catching, and let alone catch it? Why are you running? Let the ball go. It's going to bounce into the end zone, and if it takes an unlucky bounce, whatever. You don't catch it at the 1 yard line and run. What the fuck was that idiocy? Thank you for the defense for preventing Dallas from scoring there. But holy fucking shit. Insane. And then one of the plays, the one discredit that I will give to the defense is it was the play directly before the bomb to CeeDee Lamb downfield. Zach Ball needs to intercept that pass by Dak Prescott right before that. Goes right through his hands, off his mask. Gotta catch it. You just gotta. It touches your hands. You got to catch the football. It goes through your hands. You got to catch the football. Point in case, cause and effect. Zach Bond has to make that interception. It's bottom line right there, because that's also a major difference in the game. Because CeeDee Lamb sucked today. CeeDee Lamb was fucking terrible. He was dropping everything left and right. But that was a big game changer for Dallas in their offense. You got to intercept that ball if you're Zach Bond. You really just have to. Because at this point, your defense has to play fucking perfect. And like I said, the defense just isn't going to play perfect. I'm not going to blame the defense because I don't think they deserve fucking blame today. Because, like I said, when your offense is constantly going 3 and out, 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 3 and out. Oh, did I digress of how many 3 and outs there were? 3 and outs, a billion of them, fucking 10 billion of them. So many 3 and outs. Yeah, your defense is going to get fucking gassed. Yeah, you're going to lose some bodies. You lose Reed Blankenship and you have to put Sidney Brown out there. And oh God, that is a drastic downgrade because the dude just can't fucking tackle. The dude can't do shit. Dude cannot do fucking shit. That's a downgrade. You lose a Jomo for a little bit. You did lose a Dory Jackson as well, even though he was getting fucking pick apart the entire goddamn day. So that really isn't a loss right there. Freaking, I don't even think Cooper DeJean had that good of a day. Quinyon Mitchell didn't have that good of a day. But still, it's like, I blame the defense just the least amount with how bad this fucking offense is. But it just, you have to be perfect with this defense, and it's not going to happen week in and week out, and you're not going to be fucking picture-ex perfect in the goddamn playoffs with the way this offense is. I'm sorry, when you're playing against way better competition than the Dallas Cowboys. And yes, the Dallas Cowboys offense has been very good this year. Dak Prescott has been very good this year. You shouldn't lose after going up 21-0. Your offense has to fucking make them keep putting points on the fucking board. There's no reason for that. But no, you let them hang around in the game. And of course, this is the fucking result because your offense is just that fucking bad. So what is it? This is 3 weeks in a row that Jalen Hurts hasn't been good? Besides those first 3 drives, I don't think Jalen was good for basically the rest of the game. Still had issues with some overthrows. Still had some issues over there. I don't think Jalen Hurts was that good. The run game is basically just non-existent because of this offensive line. So, You really have to harp on the passing game, and they were really trying to push this fucking run game, and it completely just shat right all in their face. And then we're going back with the penalties, even when they had a chance to even make momentum. They had a nice pass to Dallas Goedert down the left side of the field. Nope, offensive line penalty. Negated that entire goddamn thing. Undisciplinedness. This offensive line is a complete shell of itself. Even you could put some blame probably to Jeff Stoutland, too. Because isn't he supposed to be the offensive line guru? What the fuck changed? What the fuck is the problem? Is it just as simple as the wear and tear from last season on going on a Super Bowl run? I mean, maybe that could be the case, but the drop-off should be this fucking bad. It should be this fucking bad. Because this offensive line, this is probably the worst offensive line that we've probably seen in the city in years. In decades, maybe. It's that bad. It is that fucking bad. It is that fucking bad. It's unreal. It is so ungoddamn real. Just looking at some stats. Jalen Hurts, 27 of 39 for his completion attempts, 289 yards, 1 touchdown, got sacked once, which was the biggest sack in the biggest part of the game right there. Could not take that sack. Quarterback rating of 99.2. Run game, non-existent, only 63 yards there on the run game. Jalen Hurts, 7 carries for 33 yards. Saquon Barkley, 10 carries for 22. And then Tank Bigsby had 1 carry for 8 yards. 1 carry. Passing game. Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown had good games when they were targeted, when they were given a chance. A.J. Brown, 8 receptions on 10 targets, 110 yards. Devontae Smith, 6 receptions on 11 targets, 89 yards. Saquon Barkley had 52 yards on 7 catches. Dallas Goedert only targeted twice in this game for 20 yards. I don't blame those guys. Fucking play calling. Offense, fucking brutality. Just brutal. And just look at some of the other things with the defense. Like I thought the defense was playing. Seriously, the defense still put you in a position to fucking win this game because even Dallas was stepping on their foot so many times in this game. Like seriously, the amount of turnover, the amount of mistakes that Dallas was making in the early stages of the game, missing field goals, the turnover by Dak, the going for it on 4th down early in the game, the Eagles defense just standing tall, punting the ball away constantly. There is no reason for you to not be scoring as much as you should have been today. There's no reason to not be scoring every fucking drive. Now, yes, every drive is not realistic, but seriously, the amount of chances that you get, you should be scoring on these. You really need to. It was the biggest meltdown I'd ever seen in my life. And honest to God, is this worse than the 49ers loss? It might be. It might be. It might be. It might fucking be. This offense is going to cost you in the playoffs. This is a team that loses in the wild card or the first round because their offense just can't do a damn thing. You know why we complain about the Phillies so much with their offense costing everything? That's what this Eagles team is this year. They're the Phillies. Their offense can't do jack shit. Offense can't do jack shit. And you want to know why? A major reason for this? It's your fucking play calling. It's your fucking play calling. Why does Kevin Patullo even deserve the job? Why? Now I understood that I was prepared for a drop-off in the offensive performance than from what it was last year. I understand that. But you're going to an inexperienced guy. Like, it shouldn't be this fucking bad. It shouldn't be this fucking bad. And it was funny that people tried to cope and tried to find some light at the end of the tunnel after those 2 wins in a row against the Vikings and the goddamn Giants before the bye week, saying, oh, maybe Kevin Patullo was figuring something out. No. Because what did we see against Green Bay? Shit offense. What did we see against Detroit? Shit offense. Your defense was the reason why you won both of those games. And what did we see today? Shit offense. Shit offense. The first 3 drives were a mirage. That's not who they are. That is not who they are. It just isn't. That's not who they've been this entire season, and it's not who they are now. That's not what this version of the team is. And you can only rely on not turning the football over so much. You just can't rely on that so much, especially with the way this offense is this year. You just cannot solely die on that. Die on not turning the football over and die on your defense. For as good as this defense is, and this defense is very good, and I'm not taking anything away from the defense. I barely put blame on the defense today. But when you go on a 3-and-out stretches, as much as this fucking team does, it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you because there's going to be drives where the defense doesn't come up big. There's going to be drives where the defense doesn't come up large, where they don't get that stop, where they don't stop the team on 4th down, where they give up a touchdown, where they give up a big play. That's what happened today because they kept going back on the field, back on the field, back on the field because your offense couldn't stay on the field. It's as simple as that. And for as bad as Dallas's defense is, you should have been torturing them way more. Should have been torturing them way more. But nope, that's what this offense is. Keeping teams around in the game. It's just what they are. It's just what they are. It's insane. It's insane. Just look at the drives as you go through the rest of the game. So your first drive, obviously touchdown. Second drive, obviously touchdown. Third drive, touchdown. But then look at this. Punt, 3-and-out. 3-and-out to start the second half. 6 plays, which turned into a punt. 3-and-out. Then the missed field goal to start the 4th quarter. Then the fumble by Saquon Barkley. Then punt. 5 plays. So it's that bad. That bad. It is that bad. This offense is going to cost this team in the playoffs. Saquon taking the blame himself. This is from Ashlyn Sullivan of NBC Sports Philadelphia. I'm not playing well. Got to be better with my ball security on the fumble that he had. Am I blaming Saquon Barkley? Yeah, he's part of the reason why the run game isn't going. But I still put that more on the offensive line than anything. Jeff Kerr says the Eagles will remain the number 1 seed, but the Rams lost tonight, so the Rams did lose tonight, so I guess that benefits them. It's insane. It's just crazy how they're just that unable to run the ball. It's crazy. Shane Half says the worst part is that Nick Sirianni will blame this loss on turnovers and not this abomination of an offense. Bill Matz also, PHLY, brings up a good point. If Statland is going to get the credit that he gets, he deserves some blame for a non-existent run game and a constant procedural miscues. Can't run RPO because half of them getting called back for illegal man downfield, more false starts and alignment penalties than I've ever remember. Zero threat of a consistent run game, let alone a dangerous one. This shit's all starts up front. Yeah, this offensive line is the reason why. And just look at this. The Eagles' final 8 possessions. Punt. End the path. Punt. 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 Missed field goal. Fumble. Fumble on punt return. Punt. It's not good. That's worse than not good. It's jack shit. Jack fucking shit. Did not score for the final 41 minutes of the game. Just unimaginable. Unfucking imaginable. There's no excuse for it. There really just is. It is not an excuse. Dallas Goddard says we have to find ways to put games away. God. Already talking about this. Saquon Barkley since the bye week in 3 games, 58 carries for 165 yards, no touchdowns, 2.8 yards per carry. The longest run is 15 yards. Now, like I said, some of that might be on Saquon, but I think majority of that is on the offensive line for not being good. Why did so many people complain about when Saquon was in New York that he didn't have an offensive line? That's why he wasn't putting up numbers. Well, there you go. That's the reason. Offensive line isn't as good. Offensive line is in shambles right now. And that has to go with players are not playing up to their potential, and I think some of that can go on coaching. Jeff Statling gets so much praise. He deserves a lot of criticism. He deserves a lot of criticism for how bad this offensive line has played this year. Deserves so much criticism. So much. And please, for the love of God, please, for the love of God, can we not focus this entire week on the A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts drama, whatever the fuck it is? Can we please focus on the real problems with this team? Is that this offense is fucking terrible and this offensive line is shit? Can that please be the focus of this week? Instead of trying to focus on fake-ass drama between A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts? Like, can we not focus on the stuff that shouldn't be the focus, please. Please. Focus on what's actually the problem, and that's your fucking offensive line. Let's see, what other tweets are there? This is from Thomas Peterson of Bleacher Report, NFL Network, and whatever. A few frustrations that might be overreactions to the moment. Bigsby has been much better than Barkley. Juergens is borderline unplayable. Hurts is being overly protective running the football. Sirianni is failing miserably managing the offense, and Howie failed hard at finding a cornerback too. It's all very understandable things right there. It's insane. Insane. What else is there? Yep, 0 points in the last 40 minutes is just unacceptable. It's time, Sirianni. You got to take play calling duties away from Kevin Patullo. Is that really going to fix shit? Is Nick Sirianni taking over the play calling really going to fix the problems? Because I don't think that's going to be the case. Don't think that's going to be the case. I don't think that's going to be the case. And here we go. This would be a great opportunity for A.J. Brown to get everybody on his side. Had a strong game personally, but every issue he had with the offense is still there. If he says something now, people can't just say he's salty about his own numbers. He had a right to be frustrated with this offense. He was 100% right to be frustrated with this offense. But people just kept harping on it because for some reason they wanted that to be the main story. It's unreal how bad it is. Unreal how bad this offense is. You're going to lose in the playoffs because of it. That's just bottom line. Complete bottom line. So, we do have some voicemails here. I got some of you guys in the chat as well. I hate that YouTube also changed the usernames and all that crap from the actual names to usernames. See, even though I recognize who you guys are, I just hate that it does that. So, going to go to the voicemail line. We also do have a couple of text as well. We'll start with Zach first. We got a call from Zach and Sean. We'll start with Zach's call first and see what Zach's reaction is to this. What do you got?
Well, it seems we can only go about a month without heartbreak. I mean, the Giants game and Broncos game were pretty bad, but nothing's worse than losing to the Cowboys. And losing like that, it actually looked like this team was getting their heads out of their asses, and they were going to just run away with one. Going to be easy. Offense looked good early, man. And then all went to shit. I mean, I don't know where to even start with this, man. The defense couldn't get pressure. Got like a million guys out. There were flags everywhere. Yeah, there were some bad calls against us. But, I mean, give me a break. You're up 21-0. I don't want to hear anything about bad calls. You blew this one. I mean, just unbelievable. Jake Elliott couldn't make that field goal. It was tough. I thought in the moment, maybe go for it. I mean, you're indoors. 56 is makeable, but maybe just line up and at least try to draw them off. I mean, that would have been cool. But holy hell, man, this offense just completely died. And the run game is fucking non-existent. I mean, you're still they look good, but they were still one-dimensional early. Like, they still couldn't run the ball. I mean, I'm just sick and tired, man. And we were due for a loss. I think we needed this loss. You can't just keep scraping along and actually expect this team to do something. It's like 23, you know? And it was that Niner game that woke us up. I mean, they blew the shit out of us, but, you know, better team, and it still is what it is. Just, I'm sick. I don't even know what to say, man. It's just completely heartbroken and disappointed. I thought the Eagles were all we had it, and, you know, after the Phillies blew it, and I guess we're on the Flyers and Sixers. I don't know how the hell you fix this offense, but long-ass call. As per usual, let it go, man. Peace.
There's no way to fix this offense. It's what it is this year because of your play calling. That is and your offensive line. You're not going to fix it. You're just simply not going to fix it. And I mean, the wake-up call with the 49ers and all that stuff, that was a wake-up call in the wrong fucking direction. That team completely fucking imploded and collapsed the rest of the year. Now, am I saying that they're going to do the same thing this season? I don't think they're going to collapse. I don't think that's going to be the cause, because their schedule is just way too easy the rest of the way to even consider collapsing. Because, granted, Chicago's going to be a tough game. Chargers, they'll be a tough game, but the games the rest of the week, you got Vegas, you got Washington twice, and you got Buffalo. So, no, they're not going to collapse, obviously. I don't think that's going to be the case, but there's just... This offense is going to cost you a playoff game. It really just is. Whether that's you get the bye week and you get the divisional round, it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you. It's simple as that. So, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it that it's going to. It is going to. A.J. Brown after the game. A.J. Brown says there were a lot of self-inflicted wounds. The Eagles had 14 penalties. I even had a false start. I've got to be on the same page. Nope, there's really nothing else. I don't think Jalen has said anything. Don't think Nick Sirianni has said anything yet. So that definitely would be something you have to wait for happens. I don't even know if these guys have talked yet. So I think it's just everybody else that's been talking so far. But whatever. Let's get to Sean. Let's get to Sean's call. What has Sean got?
Only one word, disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. The worst loss of the year by far. Even the Giants kicked our ass from pillar to post. I can live with that. But all the nonsense that we've been watching all year finally caught up with us. And the fact of the matter is, for all the bashing that Eagle fans give Dak Prescott, when he plays against us, he lights us up like a Christmas tree. Where was our defensive line today? Did Jalen Phillips make a play? Did Brandon Graham make a play? Jalen Carter made one that I remember. Jalix Hunt, none. But again, Dallas exploited them in the second half due to the injuries. By the way, Makuba's probably out for the year. But it's the offense. 21 points in the first half, nothing in the second half. You don't even attempt to run the ball on 3rd and 2 with the game on the line. Barkley's not even out there. This coordinator needs to fucking go. And Nick Sirianni deserves criticism too. I know it's in Dallas and the referees get goofy, but 14, 15 penalties is not going to win you ball games. Disgusting effort, well-deserved loss. Go the fuck home. Probably going to get beat by Chicago on Friday because we can't even field a fucking team defensively. Shit night all around. Garbage performance. Congratulations, Dallas.
I didn't even think about that. It's a short week too. It is a short week too because you play on Black Friday against the Bears. So we have no idea what the hell's going to go on with this defense this week. Is Reed Blankenship even going to play? Like, what's the extent of Reed Blankenship's injury? Dory Jackson, who knows? Makuba's probably not going to play. You're going to have to bring me, or get to start Sidney Brown again. Oh God. Oh God. That actually concerns me. That actually concerns me. Oof. Stats by Jeff Kerr again. The Eagles' offense since the bye week, offensive points per game, 15.7, which is 25th in the NFL. Yards per game, 301.7, which is 24th in the NFL. Yards per carry, 3.5, which is 26th in the NFL. Red zone, 57.1, 12th place in the NFL. Third down conversion, 37.2, 17th. Third and short conversions of 3 yards or less, 37.5%, which is 27th in the NFL. And then 3 and out rate, 41.2%, which is 26th in the league. Unreal. 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 We do got a text here from Jonathan. Petula was bad, but he's not even the biggest reason for today, to be honest. 2 fumbles and dropped interception from Bond. Reverse as many as 1, and we probably have a different result. I mean, yeah, of course, fumbles are going to be a difference maker, obviously. But the defense stood tall after the the fumble at the goal line on the punt. Defense stood tall there. And did Dallas score after the fumble by Saquon? Did they score after the fumble by Saquon? No, they didn't. They forced a punt. So both times you turned the ball over, they didn't score. So those weren't game. Granted, yes, your offense going down the field and all that stuff that takes an offensive drive away from you. Blah 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 blah. But realistically, was this offense really going to do anything? Was this offense really going to do anything? That's also a question mark for you. Was this offense really going to do anything? Zach says the punt return fumble was the breaking point for me. Still wild that Dallas didn't score there. Well, yeah, the defense stood tall. That's why I don't really put blame on the defense. But yeah, they're definitely, they couldn't get to Dak much. Like, how many did Dak get? I think he got sacked like once. Yeah, he got sacked once. So, yeah, they did struggle getting to the quarterback today. So, but still, I'd take less blame off the defense than anything. Here we go. The update from Olivia Reiner on Andrew Makuba. He was on crutches, not putting on any weight on his right foot, which was in a boot, and as he was leaving the locker room. Yep, he's definitely done for the year. He's definitely done for the year. So that's another defensive player lost, and we still don't know the update on Reed Blankenship, even though he was on the bench the rest of the game with his helmet. So, but it did look like he grabbed his hamstring after the play he got hurt on, so that's just something to monitor. And granted, it is a short week, and you play on a weird day with a Friday, so gotta wait and see. But yeah, this was a disaster. This game was a disaster, and this team is a disaster waiting to happen. This offense is a disaster waiting to happen in the playoffs. Simple as that. Simple as that. I'm assuming this is Austin most likely. This was far and away the worst game I've ever watched in my life. They've had so many opportunities and squandered them with penalties. Kevin Patullo is a coward and must be fired. This season is a wrap. Patullo knows he's getting fired in January. Season is over, especially since we do not have a competent play caller, and it's time for Lane Johnson to retire. Second half was utter disgrace, and you cannot allow Patullo to fly back to Philly, leave him on the fucking tarmac where he belongs. This was a 2023 collapse level of failure. We never will hear the end of it from Dallas unless we go all the way again. Jalen played the first half, and Kevin Patullo played the second half. Maybe. Dak Prescott could have taken an hour-long nap with the amount of time he had to make decisions in the pocket. Yeah, that's just our defense in general. Sometimes they just, for some reason, can't get pressure on the quarterback. I don't know why. Defense is still great, but this is what happens when you let the best offense in the NFL hang around. I agree. Coming into this game, I was never afraid of the Cowboys. I was afraid of the Eagles. I've been afraid of the Eagles in anticipation of almost every game. Understandable. 14 penalties, channel name. The only reason I'm not calling this team frauds is because of our track record finding ways to win. Well, they didn't find a way to win today. Cowboys defense coached by Eberflus, who other teams in the NFL shred. It's Kevin Patullo, man. Even if we won this game, it still would have felt like a loss. Probably. Man. This team. Man. This is annoying. This offense is going to cost this team in the playoffs. It just is. So, that'll do it for tonight, everybody. I appreciate y'all tuning in as always. So, got lined up this week. We got a couple Flyers games before Thanksgiving. Then we got, obviously, the Eagles on Black Friday. So, definitely some stuff to go around here. So, I appreciate you all for tuning in as always. So, don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Don't forget to drop a like. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It does me a great deal of service. And also use the code TTPSPORTS, $20 off your first purchase. That's SeatGeek. Great deal. Don't pass it up. So, appreciate you all for tuning in. Short week. Flyers tomorrow and Wednesday. Eagles on Friday as well. Flyers are also on Friday and Saturday. So, going to be a busy week. Also with the holiday as well. So, it'll be interesting. So, appreciate you guys for tuning in.